this, okay? I'm so excited about this opportunity, okay? It's a tremendous honor to be named offensive coordinator at LSU. It's a job that I have worked my entire career looking forward to. It's been offered before, and it didn't work out for me. And I tell you, my time being back here and everything else, even coaching tight ends has been special. But I spent my entire career thinking about this opportunity, okay?
And welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. Spreading the roar. I'm Tommy Krysan along with Mr. Jordy Hultberg. Jordy, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. It's nice to be here after the Snow Bowl and the ice and all. It's good to be back in the swing of things.
Weather conditions kind of got a hold of Tigers Roar last week. That's why we had Coach Ensminger, and we'll have a bunch of him tonight that we would have had for you last week, but we want to share it. Weather's a lot better now. Also, things a lot better for Will Wade with a very nice win. I was on hand at the PMAC. For the second time this year, second time in less than 3 weeks, they knock off Texas A&M, who a scant month ago was 11th in the country. But they've been real incensed, but a really nice win for LSU basketball last night.
I thought it was from start to finish, I thought it was their best game of the season. I thought they locked down defensively. They had a great game plan. We're going to pack it in tight, make you shoot from outside. A&M was not able to do so, and because of that, and I think LSU's a really good team when Duop Reath leads them in scoring, and Tremont Waters kind of defers a little bit. He takes better shots. He assists the basketball. He had 8 steals, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, just a stat sheet stuffer. It was a terrific win.
You know, and when you go to the game in person, you see a lot of things you don't see on TV. And it was my first game in person this year. You've been, and you got a better eye for basketball than I. But I was impressed with Duop Reath and the inside game when he would get in the paint. Can't say I either didn't see a lot of that on TV or just didn't notice it the same way as I'm watching the game in the arena last night. You know, I tend to do what you do. You watch the guys that don't have the ball sometime, where the average fan never leave the ball. Right. And I was impressed with Reath. He's a big guy, quite agile, and I was impressed with his play. Of course, he led them in scoring, but just some of his stuff without the ball was good.
Well, he's going to get a sniff in the NBA. There's no question about that. You're 6'10" like he is, and he can take you outside and knock down perimeter shots. That is quite a deal. He can get up and down the floor. Still not strong enough on the glass in certain tendencies, but has a good little jump hook inside the lane. So, no, and again, I think if he can be consistent, he had 31 the game before, 21 in this one. If he puts those kind of numbers up, and Waters, who had complete control of the game from the point guard position, he was just, his ball handling skills were magnificent. Some of the passes he made as he anticipated where his teammate should go, he led them to that. It would lead to layups. He was terrific. So a big win. Now they got to go to Auburn, got to go to Tennessee. Boy, if they could get one of those two, boy, they're in business.
Yeah, and you've talked about Tremont Waters for a couple of weeks now, and certainly he was impressive on TV. And then when I saw him last night, like you said, he makes things happen, and he didn't have a lot of turnovers last night. He's made some, he's a freshman. He's going to make a mistake here and there. Right. All basketball players do. However, you're right. He could not only did he control the game when the ball was in his hand, but he put a lot of pressure on A&M's guards. And Billy Kennedy, New Orleans native, made a comment about that after the game that they pressured the guards, which didn't allow A&M to get into their offensive flow, which led to their poor shooting along with LSU's aggressive defense.
And then he would kind of play what we call a man zone, where he would leave his man and he would go and wreak havoc across the court. 8 steals, and he deferred, gave up 9 assists, as we mentioned. So just a double-digit win. They led from the jump start and never wavered. And then Waters hit that 3-ball that increased the lead to about 13 with 2 minutes to go, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another observation I made being in the arena. Will Wade has a high-energy motor. He is coaching from the opening tip to the final buzzer. He's talking to the referees as needed. He's chewing butt as needed. I mean, I was, watching Will Wade, and I'm thinking, man, this is what crossed my mind. I said, he's got a strong heart, because for him to do this every night for the games, and it tells me he's probably the same way in practice. That dude, he's intense.
I like that he coaches without knowing what the score is. He is coaching as though the score is 0-0. and he does not tolerate mistakes and bonehead plays. I like that.
It was 0-0 for a while last night.
Yeah,
I was thinking we were going to see a double shutout.
Well, A&M didn't score till after the first TV timeout.
That was amazing.
That was good.
So,
From
nice
start
win.
to finish, nice win.
Yeah, very nice win against a team that's probably still going to be a tournament team unless they just continue on a skid.
They've got everything you need. The guys that were used to be good outside shooters can't throw it in the ocean. They've got size. They've got two bigs. One's going to be a lottery pick, the Williams kid.
Incredible.
Davis is going to get a good opportunity to play in the NBA because he's got big size. He's going to be on a roster. I just don't understand what the problem is. That's a good team.
Now, up next for LSU, at Auburn, at Tennessee, as you mentioned, a couple of tough ones. You see it on the screen here. You got the score from last night, 77-65. Reith, Waters, Epps with double digits. Edwards also had 12 points. But a couple of road games. Then Arkansas comes to Baton Rouge. So there's no rest in the SEC. This league, top to bottom, is so much better than last year.
No gimmies whatsoever. Vandy's the team with the worst record in the league, and you saw what they did to LSU last Saturday. So no gimmies, and that's that you got upwards of 8 teams in the NCAA tournament if the tournament started today, and that's quite a contrast as to what we've seen in the past several years.
All right, LSU. I think the door might be slightly cracked for them to possibly get in the NCAA tournament. They're going to need to win a bunch of games, maybe make a nice showing in the SEC tournament. But I think if NIT looks very realistic right now, unless there's a terrible swan dive, which would be a marked improvement. And as I said, Jordy, look. Think about how people feel about LSU basketball here at the end of January compared to the end of January last year.
Oh, well, they've already won more games in the league than they won all of last year, 2-16 overall, including 15 consecutive losses. It's mind-boggling. So, no, it's going in the right direction. NCAA tournament would be just a temper your enthusiasm. Let's put it that way. A lot of things would have to happen for that to happen, but hey, if they get to the NIT, that's a remarkable accomplishment in 1 year's time.
I like your tempered enthusiasm. I'll make an analogy. When they played Kentucky well and then beat A&M, beat Arkansas, all of a sudden the enthusiasm went way up, and then
what seed line are we going to be on?
And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, they lost a couple, got beat by Vandy. Yeah. So same thing right now. Okay, NCAA tournament, put it in the corner. Put it over there on the side. You may turn to it. But realistically, if they can become an NIT team, that would be a nice step in the right direction.
They've got to just not even think about that stuff. They've got to say, okay, Auburn's up next. Auburn's a completely different team. They're 5-1 in the league. Bruce Pearl's done a remarkable job with that ball club. They score at a high clip. They're not like Texas A&M, where A&M is an inside-heavy oriented team. Auburn shoots threes. They just get it and go. A 3-guard lineup, all 3 of them averaging double figures, and they just get up and go. Tough place to play. Well, that's a cliche of all cliches. Everywhere you go is a tough place to play. That's just plain and simple. In basketball, it's a strange game. You're one good shooting day away from beating anybody. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Hey, speaking of Auburn, they hired Alan Green as their athletic director, who played baseball for Paul Maneri at Notre Dame. I spoke to Coach Maneri the other day. He said he was actually in Paul Maneri's initial signing class at Notre Dame. Was an outstanding student, outstanding player, had a cup of coffee in minor league baseball, and has been in athletic administration for many years. And Coach Paul Maneri told me on the phone earlier this week, he thinks Auburn got a really good guy. So he'll work hard, he'll be smiling, and they're going to like him. First Auburn AD would no ties whatsoever to Auburn University.
About time.
Maybe that's a good thing with that there. So speaking of baseball, Media Day this week, we'll cover that a little bit for you next week. Jordy, LSU, we saw the opening clip from Steve Ensminger. We'd had a lot of this last week, but the weather put the clamps on Tigers' roar. Your reaction to Steve Ensminger being named offensive coordinator?
Look, I don't care if it's Steve Ensminger or Joe Blow. I want to see success. I'm not here to try and critique. There's so many people that are upset about this. So many people are on. Who cares? Let's see what happens on the field. That's all you can do. Can he develop a quarterback? Can he get it done on the field? I don't know how people can predict that this is going to be the end of time, the detractors. So, look, I've known Steve We were in school together. I've known him for a long, long time.
Broussard Hall.
I wish him nothing but the best. And I'm going to leave it to the powers to be that study football every day. Let them make the decision. It's their job to hire the right guy, to have the most efficient offense they can possibly get. And let's see what Steve Ensminger can do. So I'm all on board. Let's go.
The buck stops on Ed Orgeron's desk. This is the guy he wants.
Yes.
So you let him get who he wants. And
I don't fault a coach for wanting someone that he truly believes he can trust, that he wants to get in that foxhole with and go to battle with. I don't fault him at all. Now, if it works, great. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Then we move on.
Ed Orgeron's smart enough to know that if it works, he'll get the credit. If it don't work, he'll get the blame.
That's right.
So I think Jordy says it well. Let's just let this stuff happen. Very tough schedule, as has been talked about. Toughest LSU football schedule in a long time. Speaking of LSU football, it was official on Wednesday afternoon. Kevin Falk, Director of Player Development, some classroom stuff, some social development, whatnot, has been hired to work on the LSU support staff. And here's a guy that's in the New England Patriot Hall of Fame, the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, the LSU Hall of Fame, 3 Super Bowl titles, 5 Super Bowl appearances.
You don't think they're going to bring him into that office and let him have those 3 Super Bowl rings on the desk and let him talk about what it's like to go to LSU and get to the NFL? Oh, yeah.
No question. So, and been working at Karen Crow High, which was his alma mater. He was a great quarterback at Karen Crow. And
Still to this day, I'll never forget this. LSU showed me his high school highlight tape that Karen Crow sent to them. Unbelievable.
They ran the option. Yeah.
He ran the 90-yard touchdown, 85-yard touchdown. I mean, he did it all. Nobody could stop him.
Jerry DiNardo's first trip when hired as LSU football, he did a press conference on the 5th floor and got in the car and drove to Karen Crow.
And Kevin Falk made it cool to go to LSU. And
at a time when it wasn't cool.
And other players started to come.
And then Todd McClure shows up, and Gabe Northern and a few people show up.
So LSU, good hire. Bring them back. That's great.
Jordy, before we go to break, and we'll talk about it tonight, we'll talk about it certainly next week. Super Bowl 52 all set. Philadelphia, New England, some Louisiana flavor in ties that we'll get into later. Your early thoughts on the Super Bowl?
Should be the Saints. Should be the Saints instead of the Eagles. How do you bet against Brady? I don't know. They're going with the white jerseys. Brady's 3-0 when he wears the white jerseys, and 12 of the last 13 Super Bowl winning teams wore white jerseys.
5-point favorite as we speak, a week and a half or so out from the game. Now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, normally on Tigers Roar in the second hour, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com joins us, but due to scheduling purposes, we're going to get him after this break. Going to talk about the Elite Junior Day on campus this weekend and what's happening with LSU football recruiting, all leading up to National Signing Day, Wednesday, February 7th. So when we return, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com right here on Tigers Roar. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, spread the roar. Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us. Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
Hi, I'm Jordy Hultberg for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities, including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. Continuing Tigers Roar, Jody Hultberg, Tommy Chrysan with you now, joined by Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. We'll tell you all about TigerBait.com in a minute. Mike, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Doing great.
Mike, recruiting still full speed ahead. National Signing Day, Wednesday, February 7. Big weekend for LSU. Tell us all about the Elite Junior Camp and some scheduled visits.
Well, yeah, LSU's going to have a dozen or so of the elite prospects from the state of Louisiana. Plus Noah Kane, the running back, of course, who has Louisiana ties. And then the quarterback for 2019, Greg Gunnell from Houston St. Pius X. While he won't be there for the Junior Day events, he'll be on campus for an unofficial visit. So that is big time because he's one of the top quarterbacks in the country, a legit 6'5", 210-pound kid. And so it'll be interesting to see if Jimbo Fisher can hold on to him. But that's a guy that Ed Orgeron highly covets and is making a hard push for.
All right, and then what about a few of the other kids? We got some commitments that have flown out, some other guys waiting to announce. I know it's still a couple of weeks away, but what about Fields, the wide receiver from Rummel?
Yeah, I think that LSU is where he's going to end up. So it's Jamar Chase and just
I said
look. He went to Michigan, talked to him after his official visit, talked to his dad for a good while. I didn't think the Auburn visit was going to happen, and sure enough, they canceled it. And he's been in the probable category for weeks now, and he was a kid probably 3 or 4 months ago that you were just looking at and saying, boy, he's wanting to go anywhere but LSU, and LSU's not going to turn him around, and it just shows you what being persistent and letting the kid,
breathe a little
process.
Yeah. And
he came back around and he'll end up signing with LSU on signing day.
if you, as a talent evaluator, could only have one, would you take Marshall or Chase as a wide receiver?
That's tough.
I asked tough questions. Who would you take?
No, because it's like when you see them both, you're like, wow. Marshall gets the bigger, eyeball, passes the eyeball test a little bit because he's a couple inches taller.
But
I saw Jamar Chase and filmed him against Turlings earlier this fall, and he did everything. I mean, Turlings didn't have an answer for him, and they were a really good football team. kick returns, for touchdown, the works. You can imagine both of those guys now being coached by Jerry Sullivan. He's one of the best wide receiver coaches in football. So I think they're going to need a couple of freshmen to play early, and then we'll see what having a coach like that around can do to either get a Drake Davis to finally show up, or Stephon Sullivan or D. Anderson to improve. And of course, you have the Texas Tech transfer, and so it's going to be interesting.
Mike, what kind of feedback are you getting from the recruits, the families, on the job being done by LSU football? Obviously, a little turnover on the coaching staff.
It's one of those things where I don't know that it matters so much to the local kids, but certainly, that's going to be a factor with the out-of-state kids much more. But it's also something that, other schools are going to be able to point to. And look, it's whether you think, if you start doing an over and under on how long Orgeron's going to be the head coach, or looking at the schedule, looking at the question marks. When all those Lindy's and Athlons and all the USA Todays and so forth start doing their college football post-spring write-ups and start gearing up for the football season, how many of those lists are going to have Ed Orgeron on the hot seat?
None.
Huh?
I don't think any.
I think most of them will.
Oh, really? Okay.
Even though I don't think he's going anywhere.
That's why I would answer that no, because unless they go 0-12 and you got NCAA problems, I think Ed Orgeron is the coach at least through the 2019 season.
Yeah, but it's kind of like if you're out of state and you're putting together that column, and you're like, LSU fired a coach for going 9-3 every year, and if your job is college football and you're going to predict where you think LSU is going to fall in the league, along with all some of the drama that's been there, and who knows what else is going to come. Well, you automatically think, well, how long are they going to put up with that?
Okay, good point. There you go. Hey, Mike, tell us all about TigerBait.com, what you guys have there now, what you're going to have in the coming weeks, and why people need to go ahead and subscribe.
We're talking about the 3 or 4 guys, and it's Kelvin Joseph, Jamar Chase, Mario Goodrich, the corner, which I think he's got a real good chance of being in this class.
James Foster, possibly?
Visit in there. So it's going to be interesting. And, of course, Foster, it looks like Florida State to me, with LSU second, the quarterback from Alabama. So that's kind of going to be what we're going to be watching. But 2019 is the focus now, and this Elite Junior Day, you got the best of the best. Sobsher, Stingley, you name it, they're going to be there, the guys with the offers. So, and we'll have all that coverage for you this weekend.
All right, Mike, as always, we appreciate it. We'll visit again next week. There will be even more information.
Looking forward to it. Thanks.
Take care, buddy.
All right, Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com joining us a little bit earlier on tonight's script for other reasons, but that's that.
I don't believe the coaches. I don't believe they're going to put Ed Orgeron on the hot seat in any way, shape, or form.
I don't think so either right now. They rebounded from the loss to Troy in a good fashion. Nobody thought they'd beat Bama. They didn't. Some people maybe thought they should have or would have beat Notre Dame in the bowl game. It didn't happen. But
I think they'll have question marks about LSU, not about Orgeron, because they're going to have a new quarterback, new running backs, new wide receivers. They lost a couple of key players here and there, just like every other team. So they're going to be question marks. But and Orgeron's not in any trouble right now. No.
And earlier this week, Trey Orey, the big JUCO offensive lineman, did finally get to campus and enrolled in class. So all 9 of the guys that they expected to be early enrollees are now there and will obviously participate in spring football practice. We haven't seen the dates on that yet, but that was a good news. Everybody kind of held their breath for a minute when there was a slight paperwork delay, whatever it was.
Whenever the clearinghouse is involved, you never know. And he had until tomorrow to enroll in school. So it was kind of prudent that they get him in. He's in. Traore is good to go. So big offensive lineman. We'll see.
Yeah, expected to get on the field. You know, sometimes you got to.
I never heard of that school. Who are they playing against? ASA. Who is that? Up in New York?
I didn't even know they had junior college football.
I
in
take
New
it
York.
with trepidation. Let's wait and see. He's going up against big time players now, and if he can block the likes of some of the people LSU has on that defensive front and can do it, then more power to him. I got to wait and see. I've heard too many things about JUCO players, and then they come on here and it's like overwhelming. So we'll see. I hope.
The whole JUCO thing in football is a roll of the dice. Okay, now you've got. We can probably cite numerous examples like Lindsey Scott Jr. where it may work out and it's a good path and maybe it ends up well.
Missouri.
Committing to Missouri.
Does LSU play Missouri soon?
I don't think, because they played last year. So I don't think they play for 7 more years.
Okay, so he don't want it to play.
Well, because you got Florida, the
Right.
permanent from the East, and then the rest rotate. I don't know that would
You're probably right.
happen.
You're right.
I don't have all the schedules in front of me.
I wish him luck, too. Good player. In the right system, good player.
Yeah, and we'll see how he can do up there. But, you know, you are rolling the dice because the old saying goes, there's a reason they went to junior college, whether that's academic, maybe made bad decisions away from the field. I mean, but, you know, so, and then the junior college competition is not.
Yeah, you have to wait and see.
It's like a high school all-star game,
You have
basically.
to wait and see.
Yeah, you know, like you said with Ensminger, just let this thing play. Let's see. And if he's out there blocking in September, then
More power.
Let's go to deal.
Let's go to New York again for football players.
Find out some more
Wow.
up there. Yeah, no question
They
about
play
that.
football in New York? Really? Sheesh. I thought all those schools were just basketball. St. John's. I guess Syracuse
There's
plays
a little
some football.
baseball up there. You
No,
know?
we're talking football now.
Football, okay. Well, basketball, yeah. I guess they got it all up there.
I guess
You've
so.
been in New York, I haven't,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you know you
They
would
don't
know
play much
better,
football.
better about that. But anyway, that's what's up with LSU football. Nothing following that Tommy Robinson interviewing the Cleveland Browns. That could have been him doing a favor, somebody doing him a favor, get a little experience, get a little interview.
Yeah,
but
you know, there's that Rooney Rule.
that is going to be eliminated. I promise you in the offseason, because the Raiders violated the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And something's got to happen there. I actually think the Rooney Rule works against the minorities. Because, like, if you know they're going to hire Gruden, or they're going to go interview 2 guys, that means they interviewed and didn't get a job.
Right.
If you interview
Right.
and don't get, interview,
Right.
don't get, interview, don't get, you're going to get tagged.
But
that,
the only
you know,
thing, the only good thing is you got to go through the interview process for experience for the next opportunity, I would
Right.
think. So anyway,
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll see with that. And as we mentioned, Kevin Falk now on the staff, still one coaching spot.
I'm trying to get you, Kevin, to come on the show. Come on.
He's probably watching.
Come on.
Especially in one spot still to be filled. No hurry, but there's a defensive safety, cornerback, defensive back position yet to be filled.
Dave Aranda's going to bring in his guy, whoever that may be.
I would think that would be the case right there. So that's kind of what's up with LSU football right now. We'll take a break. We'll keep it with LSU football. We've got the video that we were going to share with you last week till the weather got us. We got Ed Orgeron talking about Steve Ensminger. We got Steve Ensminger.
I just got a text. We're going to have Kevin Falk on shortly. So
Okay, good deal. All right, so there you go. But when we're going to take a break, and when we come back, some Ed Orgeron and Steve Ensminger.
didn't want to throw that curveball to you,
you
but
got me
I'm
down
just
and away.
telling you,
I
I'm
swung
just
and
telling
missed.
you.
Oh, it's good stuff. Kevin
telling
Falk will join us a little while here on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service. 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan with you. We remind you the original airing each and every week on a Wednesday night. Replays all over the place, Pelican Sports TV, ETEL cable system, and of course, YouTube.com. Mid-morning Thursday, it's available in its entirety, YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting.
Well,
you were clapping your hands. I thought maybe you had a...
No, I'm just excited about what's coming up on the show.
All right, well, we're going to get you a little Ed Orgeron, a little Steve Ensminger. It took place a little over a week ago, but we want to share it with you. We didn't have that opportunity last week with the weather. So without any further ado, here's some comments from Coach Ed Orgeron about Steve Ensminger, the introduction of Ensminger.
Give him a chance.
And then part one of Steve Ensminger's meeting with the media upon being named offensive coordinator for LSU football.
Big day for LSU football team. I'm so proud, I mean so proud to introduce Steve Ensminger as our next offensive coordinator. Steve's a Tiger through and through. He's dedicated his life to football as a player here at LSU and a coach all over the country. He's a great family man. His family's here today. We're so proud that they are here. He's a Baton Rouge native, and he's 100% committed to LSU. And I know that from working with him on a daily basis, for knowing him for a long period of time. But he's not just one of our own. He is also the best coach to lead LSU's offense in the next coming years. And I do believe that with all my heart, and I'm 100% convinced of that. On a daily basis, what I've seen this man do, when he took over our offense, how he leads the offense, how he coaches, how our players respond to him, Steve Ensminger is no doubt, in my mind, the best guy to be our offensive coordinator. At LSU, we must and we will develop championship quarterbacks to be a championship caliber team. We have 3 outstanding quarterbacks coming back. They all have different skill sets. Steve is equipped, and also his offensive staff is equipped, to run the offense, to utilize their skill sets. And you may ask, what offense are we going to run? Well, we're going to adapt to our players the best way that we can. We're going to put our players in space, put the ball in their hands, and let them make plays like Steve did when he took over last year. We will have quarterback runs. We have two guys that are excellent runners at quarterback. And we'll run from a spread offense with those guys, have quarterback runs. We have an excellent, in my opinion, one of the best pure passers coming out of football in a while that we signed here at LSU and Miles Brennan. We have a short, quick, controlled passing game, slant, sluggo, sticks, throw the ball to the tight end, take shots, throw the ball deep, and utilize what he does best. And in my research, there's no one better than Steve Ensminger to be able to do this, along with the staff that we're going to provide him. His play calling ability is second to no one in the country, as evident in the way he called plays last year. His game planning, his work ethic on a daily basis, his ability to command the staff and do the things that we want to at LSU makes Steve Ensminger, in my opinion, the best guy for the job. He's a top recruiter, and I can tell you our recruits and their family are really, really happy about this hire. In fact, they always wanted Steve to be the coordinator. Our players love him. When I introduced him yesterday, our players stood up and cheered. I want you to think about 2016, the middle of the season when he took over, no time to prepare. He put together one of the top offenses LSU has ever had. We averaged 426 yards per game, 32 points per game. Check this out. We were 89% in the red zone. 89% in the red zone with Steve Ensminger. We had a great rushing attack. We had multiple individual and team records set on offense during that time. I remember asking him after the first game, I said, Steve, do you know we set an SEC record in the first game? He goes, man, all I know is that we won. And that tells me a lot about Steve Ensminger. He brings confidence, he brings poise, and he brings excitement to our offense. And I know he's going to do it again. I want to thank President Alexander, our board, and most of all, Joe Oliva for being with me 100% of the way. They've made every resource available to me to build my staff and to build a championship program. I want to present to you a championship coach, Steve Ensminger.
Wow. You ever see me on the sideline without these things? It doesn't happen, okay? Let me say this, okay? I'm so excited about this opportunity, okay? It's a tremendous honor to be named the offensive coordinator at LSU. It's a job that I have worked my entire career looking forward to. It's been offered before, and it didn't work out for me. And I tell you, my time being back here and everything else, even coaching tight ends has been special. But I spent my entire career thinking about this opportunity, okay? Playing quarterback right over across the street right there in Tiger Stadium for Charlie Mack, I tell you, it's I knew that was going to happen. But you know what? That's why I chose this profession. I want to make a difference in young people's lives. 2016, working as offensive coordinator under Coach O right there, I'm going to tell you right now, it was the best experience of my life. Walking on that field, watching these players win, the excitement they had, walking off that field and seeing how happy they were, spreading the football around, and the tight ends and the fullbacks and the receivers and the quarter, just, it's the best time of my life. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I know this, hey, that's what makes coaching special. We're going to do that again. I can promise you that, okay? My years in the SEC has taught me how to prepare for the SEC. I've been doing this for a long time in the SEC. I'm ready for this, okay? In the work and develop quarterbacks, I look forward to. You know, it's kind of like riding a bike. Hell, you don't forget how to be a quarterback. You don't forget the 3-step drop, the 5-step drop. You don't forget how to throw a damn out route or a curl route or anything else. You know what? Hey, that's just part of being a quarterback, you know. And I look forward to showing these guys how to do it. We have a great group of quarterbacks. We have 3 outstanding quarterbacks, and they all bring something to the table. It's my job to develop them. It's my job to to take what's best for each one of them. It's my job. If they are in the ball game and we're preparing them to win for us, then I'm going to do what's best for them and put them in that position right there. Okay, Coach O has put a great staff together. I'm going to tell you, the first time we had yesterday to be as the offensive staff and sit down and talk about our personnel and our philosophy and everything else. I haven't done that, and we haven't had a chance to do that in a long time. And I'm going to tell you what, I walked out of that meeting excited about it. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say it again. I've worked all my life to have this opportunity, and I look forward to it. I want to thank Coach O and the rest of his coaching staff for believing in me to lead this group, and I will do that. The players, you know, when we talked about this, you know, people said, well, was there any hesitation? No, there wasn't. Because you know what? I'm the one guy who knows these players. I'm the one guy who knows those players. I'm the one guy who knows our receivers, our quarterbacks, our offensive line. I've been around them as long as they've been here. And you know what? I'm the one guy to lead them. They love LSU. They want nothing more than win a championship for LSU. We had a big meeting yesterday, and we talked about it, and it's all about trust. And it's all about me believing in them believing in me. And that's what's going to happen. I can tell you that right now, okay? I want to thank our leadership, President Alexander and Joe Oliva, for putting the trust in me to lead this team right here, okay? It's the last thing I'll say is this. You know, you never expect it. Hell, I'm 59 years old. I've had a great career. I've enjoyed the hell out of it. My family's enjoyed it. You know, just imagine growing up as kids and all you did was go to college football games, you know? Hell, they've had a great career. But you know what? We were laying in bed last night, and we were just kind of talking about this moment right here. And I was flipping through channels and everything else, and the movie Miracle was on. Everybody's seen that movie, right? And the talk before the big game, the coach said this: great moments are born on great opportunities. This is my opportunity, and I embrace it. I look forward to it, and I promise you, we'll make this state proud. Any questions?
Steve, on your right. Last year at the bowl game, you said that Ed kind of had to convince you to do it on an interim basis. So why now? Why is this your time now?
Well, because you know what? Last year, I was hesitant because it wasn't my offense. I understood the offense. Don't get me wrong. I understood it because I've been around for 3 years and everything else, and I knew I could call it. I just had to tweak some things. So I was a little hesitant to do it. But you know what? I have a year now. It's my offense, okay? It's my offense. It's my terminology. It's my direction. And I coordinated for 18 years, and I was a coordinator at Auburn for a while, and I've done it here. It's not the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge is terminology and what you want to do with your team. And I understand this team. I understand what our talent is coming back for this team, and I understand what I feel like we have to do to be successful on this team.
Yeah, Steve, front row, right here. Under Coach Mack, you were in a 2-quarterback system. Could you have a 3-quarterback system?
Well, I don't know that, but I'll say this. You know, when I played under Coach Mack, I didn't understand it. I'll be honest with you. He taught me how to understand it. I accepted it, and it was better for the team. Okay. If we have to play 2 quarterbacks, hell, I guess we'll play 2 quarters. I don't know that right now. It just depends on the direction we take this offense. But I do know I look forward to those three quarterbacks. I look forward to the spring putting those 3 quarterbacks in position to be successful and see what they can do and whatever they can do to help us be better. It's kind of like running the Wildcat. You know, why the hell people run the Wildcat, you know? Because you can make the defense do this. Well, if we can put another quarterback in there and say, hey, we're going to make the defense do this and it's going to be an advantage to us, we'll do it, you know? Those things have not been determined yet.
Jordy, as Coach Ensminger says, I mean, he's a coach. And
He's a coach.
You know, you go back to his days at Central High School and then rotating with David Woodley.
He's been everywhere. I mean, he's coached at every level other than the pros. Every kind of position imaginable, high school. He's done it. He's been around the block. He's a football coach. So again, give him the opportunity to succeed or to fail. Don't predetermine what's going to happen. How can you?
You can't predetermine. Nobody can predetermine. If we could predetermine,
I'd be at the racetrack.
Or if we could predetermine, we can make a lot of money on a Saturday morning in the fall in Las Vegas.
Right.
But all right, we're gonna take a break. Come back, we'll get you part 2 of Coach Ensminger and Coach Orgeron still to come. Not too far away. Kevin Falk, newest member of the LSU football staff.
All eyes on 3. All eyes on 3.
Kevin Falk, one of the greatest. Period. He's coming up a little bit later, but when we return, more Coach Orgeron, Coach Ensminger here on Tigers Roar. Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Spread the roar. Stay with us.
Taste the feeling.
Woodburners, serving South Louisiana since 1977, is a family-owned and operated company with over 30 years of experience. They're the fireplace experts, providing upscale products at an affordable price. Fireplaces, glass doors, wood stoves and stove chimneys, mantles, screens, gas logs, and tool sets. Visit online at woodburnersinc.com. Call 225-752-2590 or stop by 10510 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm Roger Cador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Can't do it without the floor director, huh?
Can't do it. Marty's on top of things, man.
Hey, we've got part two of Coach Steve Ensminger, Coach Ed Orgeron, a little bit at the tail end of this, also taking some questions for you. LSU football. Spring practice, we don't have the dates yet, but as soon as we have them, everybody will be talking about it. And
Pretty soon.
Probably let the media in just a little bit. So without any further ado, here is part two of Coach Ensminger and Coach Orgeron with LSU football.
Hey, Coach. When you see Alabama and Georgia play in the national championship game and play that kind of offense, what does LSU have to do to play at that level of offensive football?
I think we have the talent to play at that level. I really do. We've shown that in the last couple of years playing Alabama. We haven't been that successful on offense and everything else. But, the beauty of it is yesterday was the first time we had a chance to get together as offense staff. And all we did, we spent the whole day yesterday evaluating our talent. Okay, evaluate our talent and what direction we want to go with this offense. We can take it any direction we want, okay? But the thing that I do realize is we have very talented receivers. The strength of our offense right now, in my opinion right now, is our receivers right now. We have depth at receivers, which we hadn't had in the last couple of years. So I believe this. I think you watch that game, I look at our talent and say, hey, we have very talented receivers. I think we have to put 3 and 4 wide receivers on the field. I think we have to be an RPO team. I think we have to be a more fastball team. I think we have to go no huddle. That's the direction we're going. I still think there's reasons to huddle and then get out of the huddle and go fast again, But that's the decision we have to make. But I do know this. I think we're talented at that position, and I think we have to put the best talent we have on the field, and that will be 3 and 4 wideouts.
Hey, Coach, what's going on right here in the middle? How do you respond to criticism that says that 15 years in between play calling opportunities is too long?
I don't. It's kind of like it's kind of like you just asked me that question, T-Bob. I had a guy call me last night and said, "Did you read this in the paper?" I said, "Hell no, I ain't read the paper in 20 years." I don't read Twitter. I've seen a statement by Booger. I think he said, "Coaches are full of bull. They do read the paper." I don't read the damn paper. I don't read Twitter. I don't go on Facebook. You know what? And I tell my family, stay off of it. You know what? Because you know what? All I can do is what I can do. And you know what? I can't let any outside influence say, "Hey, well, you're not good enough," or you can't do this. Bullshit, okay? I'll do it.
Right here in the middle. You just talked a little bit about 3 and 4 wide, how the wide receivers will be kind of a big advantage next year, RPO offense. Can you go, I guess, a little bit more in depth there? The RPO has kind of been something that's come into football here more recently.
Well, you look at my first year, my first game when Coach O asked me to play. We had more RPOs in there. We've gotten to sets where we were in regular personnel. We had a tight end and a fullback in the game. All of a sudden, hey, we put a tight end over here, a fullback over here. In Missouri, they had a corner covering our fullback, and we had 2 receivers over here, and they had a linebacker covering our wide receivers. That's the kind of stuff that we need to do. But hey, we can be in 3 wides and everything else, and we can still run the football. And that's you got to be able to do it all with everything. You can't just, in my opinion, hey, you can be 3 wides, but you better still be able to be physically and run the football and play action off of it and RPO and hit that guy right there and still throw the ball deep. Every formation we get in, every personnel we get in, I plan on being able to throw the quick game. I plan on being able to do the RPOs. I plan on being able to throw the intermediate pass routes, to throw trick plays and everything else. It's a fine line. Here's our formations. Here's our personnel, everything else. But you know what? You have to be able to do it all out of that personnel. If you're just, hey, with this personnel, all we're going to do is throw the football, and this personnel, all you're going to do is run this football, and this personnel, all you can do that, defenses are too good nowadays. So it doesn't matter what personnel we're in or what, we're going to have to run the football. We're going to throw the quick game. We're going to do RPOs, and we're going to throw the football over their head.
Coach, right here in the front. The Georgia quarterback from November to January appeared, just as an observer, to get a lot better. When you coach the quarterback position, whenever there's press conferences around the country, everybody says, we're going to coach the quarterbacks and make them better.
Right.
How does that happen?
Well, I think, and I had a chance to keep up with that. Georgia had a unique, they had great running backs. So they had a chance to develop him. Okay, so that, early in the year, they didn't depend on him to make plays. They had a chance to develop him. So he went through a whole season and got better and better, and the confidence grew and everything else. You know what? I think we can do that. The only difference between me right now and what I'm thinking, hey, we do have good running backs right here. We just like in every other position, none of them have proven yet. They played a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what? Our strength is wide receivers, okay? I think going through spring and everything else, we're going to put the pressure on the quarterback right now and see what he can handle. And then as we go into the season, we can see what he can handle, and then we're going to call what he handles correctly and hopefully let it grow from there.
Steve, let's take one more. Coach O's going to take questions.
Okay. Steve, you've referenced the staff meeting a couple of times. If I'm not mistaken, you've coached under 4 offensive coordinators in your time here. You said it's been a long time since you've been able to do that. Do you feel like when you were a staff member that your opinions were considered?
They were, and I think it's the thing about it is I think we've run. I guess it's been 4 coordinators, and then we I kind of got that coordinator position. We kind of took over that and everything else. But people say, okay, how you going to run it? What's your terminology going to be and everything else? And I have not even studied it. I'll be honest with you. I know what I want to do, but I haven't even studied our terminology and how we're going to call formation and everything else because I want our staff to be a part of it. I want them to make suggestions. I want to, hey, are you comfortable with calling this formation this? Are you comfortable with this cadence? Are you comfortable with changing our passing system to a number system instead of all memorization? So I want our staff to be involved with it so we're all on the same page and we learn it together. And you know what? Then they can make suggestions instead of me just telling them, here it is, okay, learn it and let's go. I want them to have a part of it. And look, yesterday's all day long meeting with those guys was amazing to me. I'm just telling you, I had suggestions come from Tommy Robinson and from Mickey and from Coach Craig and everything else, and which was great. And I'm looking forward to putting this together with them because it is my offense. I will call the darn plays and I will lead this thing. But you know what? It is our offense, and they need to be a part of it.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank y'all.
Yes? Any questions?
Coach, is Steve's recruiting duties going to change with this job? And is he, for down the road after this group of quarterbacks, is he going to recruit quarterbacks in and out of the state?
He'll recruit quarterbacks in and out of the state, and I will keep him in Shreveport because he's done such a great job in that area. He had Dallas before. He will not be going to the Dallas area. I'll put someone else there, but he'll be recruiting national quarterbacks with some help.
Ed, last year when you got the permanent job, why not make Steve your offensive coordinator then? And then also the second question, did you interview anybody else over the last month for this job?
I thought about it. I did. And here's what I remember my statement. I'm going to go out and find the best offensive coordinator in the country. And I did. I went out and I did all I could to do the things that I promised the fans. And all the while, I knew I had Steve Ensminger there, and he was a great coordinator. And things didn't work out, but we're moving on. And I said to myself, I had a chance. I know the best coordinator for LSU is Steve Ensminger, and I knew that deep down in my heart, and I've always known that.
Did you interview anybody this time?
I researched some other guys, and after my research, I still decided that Steve Ensminger was the best coordinator for LSU, and I believe that today.
Ed, why is trust so important with you? It seems that that's something that you really honed in on.
I feel like we're a team together, and I totally trust Steve, and he totally trusted me. And we're going to put a great staff around Steve. We have a couple more hires to make. Really at the wide receiver position, we're going to bring in another guy that's an expert at it. And I think with the combination of those guys, everyone on my staff so far I've worked with before, and I totally trust them. And it's a great feeling to go into work when it's a great atmosphere and everybody's pulling on the same page. One team, one heartbeat, just like the team is. And Steve is a prime example of that.
As a follow-up question, LSU for the past number of years has been a little schizophrenic on offense when they recruit quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They'll pick a pocket passer and they'll pick a guy that's a runner. Is it important to narrow that and focus, have a focus?
Well, here's what I want to say. We have a pocket passer right now, and we have 2 dual threat quarterbacks. That's what we have. So we're going to fit our offense to fit their needs, no question. Okay, now, so you go out and recruit, and you look at a certain type of quarterback, and here comes this great quarterback that may not be the type of quarterback that you're looking for this offense. So I think you need to remain open-minded, fit the offense that fits the players' needs. Obviously, we would like to have a quarterback that can extend plays with his feet. We see that's what's happening in college football now, and we're prepared to do that. We also see that, like Georgia, a pro passer can take them to the championship. So we're going to be prepared to do that because we have both styles of quarterbacks. Now, are we going to go out and recruit one style of quarterback? No, we're not. We're going to go get the best guy available to come to LSU and fit his needs.
Coach, the players that are coming back on offense, they just spent the last year learning one offense. Is there any concern of having to throw that out and then learn something completely new, or are there elements of what you were doing before that you can carry over to this year?
Players are resilient. They're tough. And Steve's an excellent teacher. His system is going to be simple to learn, and it's going to be about fundamentals. And I think that Steve will do a great job of presenting his offense. The good thing about a lot of our players, they were with Steve when we had a lot of success here on offense. So he comes with immediate credibility just by the way we introduced him to our team yesterday.
Coach, on your right. On your right, so up here. There was a report yesterday, kind of a follow-up to Ross from the LA Daily News, that you interviewed T. Martin. Can you confirm whether or not you spoke to T. Martin about the job?
Someone called me. T and I are very good friends. And I received a call if there was any interest. And I told him, although I do respect T, and I do believe that he's an excellent offensive coordinator and is the next head coach somewhere, that I had my guy. All due respect with T. Martin.
Ed, there's been such an emphasis on ball security throughout the years. Do you feel you have to put the ball in danger in the passing attack to have success down the field? Is that something that you're willing to risk, maybe to be a little bit more dynamic in the passing attack?
I think you need to be smart. Obviously, with some offenses that Steve and I have been successful in the past, it always starts with protection. Protect the quarterback, short, quick, easy throws, taking shots down the field. And obviously, the short, quick, easy throws are calculated. You're not taking a big risk. Obviously, you're taking a risk anytime you throw the ball down the field, but that's what we want to do.
Yeah, Ed, what do you want out of this offense that maybe that you saw you weren't getting?
Obviously, let me say this to you. I'm only going to talk about the future now. We need to score points. We need to score points, and a lot of times Steve scored over 40 points, and in this league, you need that. With the great coordinator we have coming back in Dave Aranda, I think that we need to play off of each other. We want to be able to be very efficient in the red zone. And I said this at the beginning. Steve had an 89% efficiency rating when he took over in the red zone. That is amazing for him to be able to do that. Well, talking to Steve, he has a complete package. He has a plan for every part of the field. And so those things are very important for us and moving forward. He's adaptable. He can adapt to the talent. He showed that last year when he took over. All I asked him said, Steve, I'm not going to tell you what plays to run. Just create space and put the ball in our playmaker's hand and let him go. And he did that. And Steve's a great game day play caller. He's not stuck on one thing or another. I think that's what attracts him, and he is the best candidate for this job. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, guys.
I think Jordy said it best. Let this thing unfold. Let it play out. They'll be curious. Spring practice. Everybody can make observations and comments, but it starts on a Sunday night against Miami.
LSU fans should be happy because Nick Saban hired from within for his offensive coordinator, Coach Loxley. So if Nick can do it, we can do it. We beat him to the punch.
There you go. Hey, well, we're going to take a break here on Tigers Roar. When we come back, special guest. What you got?
All eyes on 3.
Kevin Falk.
Karen Crow kid.
All-time greats from LSU, all-time SEC great, 3-time Super Bowl champion. He will join us. New member of the LSU football staff, Kevin Falk, up next when we continue with Tigers Roar. Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name's Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal and she makes your dreams come true.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
We continue with Tigers Roar. I'm Tommy Krysan.
I'm Jordy Helperg, and while his former team will be in Minneapolis for Super Bowl 52, the all-time leading rusher in LSU football history is coming back home to Baton Rouge. He's now Director of Player Development, and that's Kevin Falk, who we're thrilled to have on from Karen Crow, Louisiana. Kevin Falk, welcome. Thanks for the time. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. How are y'all?
We're doing terrific. Congratulations on the gig. Take us to how this all started from the very beginning to now being officially named the Director of Player Development. How did it all begin?
Got a phone call. Actually didn't answer the phone call. Didn't see I had the phone call until late that night, and I didn't want to call, so I called back the next morning, and we started talking, and he was like, "Hey, man, I want to offer you a job." And I'm like, "Doing what?" And started talking, and he was like, "Look, I'm going to give Coach your number. Coach going to call." And me and Coach sit down and talk, and came and sat down and talked with Coach, sat down and talked with the AD, and we worked out something, and we're just waiting on everything to clear up and finalize.
And finalize it is. So tell me what your role is going to be as Director of Player Development.
Well, I know definitely I'm going to be involved with the football team. As far as being a coach, I'm doing whatever Coach will ask me to do. I'm there for the guys, and I'm also there for myself because I know I'm going to learn a whole lot from them as well, of just being a professional, because those guys have been doing it for a very long time.
Okay. This is not only helping them on the field, but this is kind of helping them in life, right? Mentoring them. Maybe they have some problems, and maybe you'll be the intermediary between the player and Coach O. They feel more comfortable talking to you about certain things, I would imagine.
Most definitely. That's most definitely one of the rules. Being one of those guys that they can come talk to, because we all know that players don't really want to go talk to coaches about some personal things, but they have to. But some teams have that guy where the players can come and do that. So we'll see how it works out, man. I'm real psyched about it, real pumped. I love listening. I love listening to what people have to say, and that's one of my strong points, and I hope that helps out.
When do you officially take? When does this job start for you?
Friday morning at 8 o'clock.
Friday morning, 8 o'clock. Okay, there you go.
Hey, Kevin, let's go back to your days of playing at LSU. We all know the stats and the major accomplishments, All-American in 1996. Some of your biggest memories from your days as a player at LSU?
My friends. Being with my friends, doing all that you just mentioned. That's the thing you miss most when you're done playing. Is the guys you be around. You miss the game, but you miss the guys that you made friendships with a lot. And if you made it if you were fortunate enough to make it to the level that, a lot of guys made it to, that means you made a lot of friends. And that means you missed a lot.
Well, I know you'll be able to help kids out because you remember what it was like being a freshman, being away from home for the first time, being kind of on your own with a lot of more free time from school than you ever had, but a lot of football that you had to deal with. So I'm sure some of those memories will come back to you, and you'll be able to help these kids out. And I think personally, it's a great hire. I really do.
Well, really, Jordy, football does a lot for you in life, and you just have to relate to it. You just have to understand it. When I was younger, I didn't understand what football was really doing to me. How it was making me a man, and how it was showing me how to, be disciplined. I think a lot of my coaches, and I think that's why I wanted to get into coaching. And I think that's why I wanted to be a person that affects another person's life. Because of what my coaches did for me.
Awesome. Well, who's going to win the Super Bowl, man? What you got? What do you think?
I think you're going to have to pull that one out of me. I'm not, I think it's going to be a real good game. I think the Eagles showed everybody that they are definitely for real Sunday night. So, it's one of those things, man. That's why you play the game. And that's why those two teams are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Kevin, you played in 5 Super Bowls. You won 3 of them your entire career with the New England Patriots. Give us a story about Bill Belichick and your relationship with him. Maybe a story somebody hadn't heard yet, whether it was on the field or in the locker room or maybe on the road. Give us a Bill Belichick story.
Well, first I'll just tell you about Bill. Bill is all about football.
Yes.
If you're a football guy, that's the guy you want to talk to. If you got a question about football, ask him something about just early football or like the 60s or something. He's just going to light up like a light bulb. He's just one of those guys that once you get to understand who he is and you know that it's just football, you're really going to get by easy with him. And that's who he is. One story, and it kind of came up today, and it's funny. I was talking with a kid today after a track practice, and one of our coaches said something about a kid, and it might have not been the right thing to say, or how he worded it might have not been right.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids were like, a coach could have told me that, coach could have told me that. I'm like, I understand what you're talking about. But if you want to make it where you're making, I've had one, if not the greatest coach in my lifetime, ask me about idiots, and I've played 10 years for him already. And yes, I do have pride, but I had to swallow that and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't mean it in the fact that, am I an idiot? He meant it in the sense of on the field, not as a human being. And that's some of the things that goes on.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good story there. Kevin, Tom Brady, obviously you caught many a pass in the flat from him, took many a handoff. Give us a little something about Tom Brady.
One of the best to do, if not the best. My idea, but it's working. Just to know how he prepares for the season, mentally, physically. We all know how he mentally he prepares. Understand the defensive coordinator's tendencies. Understand the head. That's the length that he's supposed to be who he is.
Kevin, we got a bad cell zone. Look, we appreciate the time. We're going to let you go. I know you're busy. Friday at 8 a.m. is right around the corner. Congratulations. Welcome back to Tiger Town. We're thrilled for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, buddy, you take care. So the gist of the matter was Bill Belichick, the greatest coach ever, Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback ever. You put those two together, and that equals success. And, you know, we have seen success on that level that we're never going to see again. We've seen success on the college level with Alabama that I don't think you're going to see again when Nick leaves. It's just been remarkable. And you're not going to see when Gino Auriemma finally hangs it up, you're not going to see that domination like you see there as well.
I think the common denominator in Kevin's comments about Belichick and Brady was work ethic.
Yeah.
And they know the
It's all about football.
And the outs, and they cross every T, dot every I. It's all about the preparation, and I like the story. He'd been playing for Belichick for 10 years, and Belichick sounded like he dressed him down one day, but it was a football thing. It wasn't a personal thing to Kevin Falk. It was a football
You're
matter.
as good as the last play. It didn't matter what you did, how many Super Bowls you won. It matters is what you're doing right here and right now, and that's why he's the best.
Yeah. Speaking of Super Bowls and LSU flavor in Super Bowls, we got a graphic for you. First off, as we mentioned, Kevin Falk is the LSU player to appear in the most Super Bowls, 5. And, of course, he won 3 of those 5. Kevin Falk, that is a record, an LSU record. And then you've got, this is 17 straight Super Bowls where you have at least one LSU Tiger in the game. Ricky Jean-Francois with the Patriots. Now, he played for the 49ers in the Super Bowl against the Ravens in the Superdome when the lights went out. And then Jalen Mills in the secondary for the Eagles. And how about Donnie Jones?
Only one that could win a national championship and a Super Bowl championship if the Eagles win. So he's done it both.
Catholic
High,
High,
chance to do both.
LSU punter,
Left footer.
holds for the extra points, holds for the field goals, and Donnie will get a chance. But that 17 straight LSU Super Bowls with an LSU player, no other SEC team can match that.
Isn't that amazing?
And then, of course, they put the Philadelphia and the New England rosters together, and then they went through the conferences. What conference you think has the most guys on the combined rosters?
It's got to be the SEC by far.
SEC with 25 players. Again, this is combined rosters. Pac-12 checks in with 25, and then you can see the rest of it on your screen. But yet another validation of the fact that the SEC is the absolute best football conference in America. And again, that's combined between the two rosters, the 53-man roster and the injured reserve roster.
Shout out to Donnie Jones. His wife and children are still in town because they go to St. George, where my children go to school, and that's tough. They're going back and forth, back and forth. I think they'll all be in Minneapolis, though.
Yeah, all in Minneapolis. And, of course, next week we'll talk a little more about the Super Bowl.
You ever been to the Mall of America?
Yes, I have.
It's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
Oh, I went 20 years ago when it was new on the scene, if you will.
They got everything in that place.
I was used to the plaza on Lake Forest Plaza on Reed Road in New Orleans East. Okay?
Let me tell you,
I thought that was a mall until I went to Minneapolis.
My recollection of Minneapolis, freezing cold, and they did things right there. They would build up off the ground walkways between all the buildings downtown, so you never had to go outside because it's so cold. Right. But when you're flying in at night, you'll see these lights spread out, and it's people that drive their cars on these lakes. The ice is that thick, and they put a hut on the ice and they ice fish. They put a chair inside of a hut with a lantern and they fish through the ice. It's kind of crazy. You must really love fish to fish out in sub-zero temps. You gotta really like fish.
You gotta have something else you could be doing.
I would think.
Now I got a Metrodome story for you. I'll go to the Metrodome to see a Minnesota Twins game. Twins are playing the Toronto Blue Jays. All right, Roger Clemens is pitching for Toronto. Okay. So I'm like, okay, we buy the more expensive tickets because me a baseball nut. I want to be hanging on a dugout and watch Roger Clemens throw. Okay. So we do all of that. Bottom of the first inning. Clemens pulls a hamstring like the 5th pitch he throws. Okay,
it was all rigged.
It was the first batter. I think he got fouled off a couple. All of a sudden, he calls the trainer out, and he's holding his leg, and I'm like, he's not throwing another pitch tonight.
Done.
So we stayed, of course, and watched the game. But I was all amped up. Like, man, I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna see Clemens throw. Saw 5 pitches.
LSU basketball played in that arena in an NCAA
the
tournament
baseball
game.
Team in that one of them college baseball challenges, showdown
basketball
things.
I had to go out. That's back when I was doing local television. I had to go out and do a stand-up. I said, never again.
It was too cold for you.
Just freaking March in Minneapolis for sub-zero, wind chill, -15.
A little too chilly. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, basketball. We're going to talk a little bit more about the nice win over Texas A&M, and we're going to let you hear from some of the Tiger players and Coach Will Wade. That's all coming up right here on Tigers Roar, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Pelican Sports TV. Spread the roar. Stay with us.
Channels with his little remote, wolfing down Cheetos. I hope he don't choke between Monday night football and Friday night fights. I'm lucky if I get to see a show that I like. He never hears the phone or the doorbell ring. I don't try to understand him. It's a male thing.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Woodburners, serving South Louisiana since 1977, is a family-owned and operated company with over 30 years of experience. They're the fireplace experts, providing upscale products at an affordable price. Fireplaces, glass doors, wood stoves and stove chimneys, mantles, screens, gas logs, and tool sets. Visit online at woodburnersinc.com. Call 225-752-2590 or stop by 10510 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. About WUBR. Got the TuneIn app, the WUBR app, and I can tell you, under construction right now, a brand new app that'll get you Pelican Sports TV, it'll get you WUBR, coming soon. As soon as it's ready, we'll let you know about it. We'll bombard you with that information on both radio and TV. Home of the Jim Rome Show, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday. Jordy Hulbert, Buddy Sanji, myself, Dave Scandaliato on Fridays. Carlos Brown, Saturday mornings. Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio, and weeknights in the evening and through the night. And you see the logo. I signed the contract the other day. We will again be an affiliate of the world champion Houston
How about
Astros.
them Astros?
Their new world
Strike
champion
up the band.
logo. So
Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa.
Alex Bregman going to speak at the LSU First Pitch Banquet in a couple weeks.
Yep.
So anyway, WUBR, again, coming
Sunday.
soon, our new app, and we'll let you know about it as soon as we can. It'll be free, not charging you for it. Jordy, tell us about your radio program in the Lafayette market.
Every day, Monday through Friday, from 2 to 4 p.m., 103.7 The Game, 103.7thegame.com, Acadiana's sports station, the number one sports station in Acadiana. So we're very proud of that.
All
Donnie
right.
Jones coming on the show tomorrow, by the way.
There you go. Good stuff. All right, Jordy, we mentioned it earlier. Very nice win for the LSU basketball team in the PMAC. First conference home win of the year, 77-65 against the Texas A&M Aggies, coached by Billy Kennedy, Holy Cross Southeastern, on his staff. Coached
Ron Maestri.
all the 90s, Don Maestri. LSU coached from 70 to 79 with some pretty good teams. And he tried to recruit Holtberg in high school. I wasn't supposed to say that. But anyway, LSU got the job done. We were, I guess, the statute of limitations.
Yes, way expired.
Yeah, the ball on the light pole. But anyway, nice win. I was in the PMAC, first game I attended in person this year. I was impressed with a lot of things. 4 guys in double digits.
You like the new scoreboard and all that stuff?
The video boards
Big time.
are fabulous. A little bit busy, a little hard to read, but the replays.
Beautiful clarity.
And you know what else they did last night in this game?
What?
They had a couple of calls they had to review.
They played them up there.
No. They didn't want one of them. I'm glad they didn't play because I think they did get it wrong. But the referee, I guess the head ref, goes over the score table, got like an iPad.
Yeah.
Puts a little headset, and there's no monitor and all that. And he's doing this on the iPad.
They got to be quick.
And then all of a sudden, they either confirming a call or standing by. They had a couple of occasions of that last night. But the video boards are spectacular. I like that they have scores of other games up there and the gamblers like that. But just sports fans, you want to see who's doing what, especially now that the conference is moving on a little bit. You want to know who's winning and who's losing, and how does that affect or not affect LSU.
No question. Oh, it's beautiful. They've done a good job, and Will Wade has a good product, and they're playing hard.
Misleading stat of the week, maybe of the month. A&M 50 rebounds, LSU 30.
If you're going to get beat on the boards by 20, cause 20 turnovers, and you'll win the game.
That's what they did. They forced 20 turnovers. And
it led to 28 points.
Both teams shot poorly. LSU a little better than A&M. So when you miss a lot of shots, you have a lot of rebounds.
Right.
I mean, so... You know,
but A&M had an opportunity, and they should have started off the game that way rather than they played right into LSU's hands. All they had to do was throw it up high. LSU didn't have any size. Throw it up to that Williams kid and let him go to work.
Well, as you know, I was at the shoot-around that afternoon at the PMAC, and when A&M guys got off the bus and came walking in, I mean, you've seen a million tall guys in the NBA, but I'm like, I thought this was an NBA team because they were all, I mean, a couple little guys.
6'10", 6'10", 6'9" in the front line.
And then another 6'10" on the bench.
Yeah,
so anyway.
But
we got
Will Wade outcoached him.
Yes, he did. And the Tigers outplayed him.
Yeah.
Led by Trey Waters and Duop Reed. Hey, let's get some comments from Coach Will Wade that he made after the win over A&M. Tiger basketball coach Will Wade.
Good to get a win. It's hard to win when you get out rebounded like that, but we made up for it with the steals and the enforcing all the turnovers. So if you're going to get blasted on the glass like that, you got to create a bunch of turnovers and get some steals, which we did. And then we shot it well from 3, which really helped us. We shot an efficient number. Darryl hitting a couple threes. Sampson hitting 2 of 3. Hit a big 3 when they went zone, and we were kind of stagnant against the zone. So good win.
Right hand, we're going to mic to you. Craig.
Defensively, Coach, how much was the emphasis on the active hands, 2 balls, Trey had?
Yeah, it's always an emphasis for us. We just did it a little bit better tonight. I mean, we got 42 deflections, so we just, we just did it a little bit better tonight. We were scrappier. We played a little bit harder than we've been playing. So we're just a little bit better at everything tonight than we had been. Yeah, it helped us. I mean, we certainly didn't want to play against their set defense. They're really good defense when they held Mizzou to 49 points the other day, and like I said, Mizzou was lucky to score 49. So we don't want to play against a set defense like that. And our guys did a good job creating offense from our defense.
The thought process of the defense early in the game, basically guard the perimeter, pressure them, don't let them get inside easily. That was basically what you were looking at?
Yeah, I mean, it helped when they had the 2 traditional bigs in there. We just didn't guard the other big. We're just going to let – I mean, Williams and Davis can make a 3. Davis has made some 3s this year. But if they were going to make 3s, I mean, we weren't beating them anyway. So we're just going to sit back in the lane and, kind of just let those other guys try to beat us. And it worked because they didn't play the 2 traditional bigs all that much. They only had one of their big guys in there most of the game. The kid Morales is obviously 6'10", but he's a perimeter-based big. So we were able to, manage the game a little bit better with them not having both of those huge guys in there that can just tear you apart in the paint. I mean, not that we did like a great job on Williams, but we still gave up 33 points between their two guys.
Yesterday you said you didn't think that Wop was going to score 31 again, but he does come out and get 21.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Talk about just how did he play tonight? How was
He's good. He got a couple in transition, and then he made a couple good post moves. He got into their body and made post moves, and so he's playing really, really well right now. Him and Trey played really well. Skylar, I told Skylar after the game, that's as well as you can play with only 2 points. I mean, he was phenomenal. I thought he played a good floor game, and 13 assists and 1 turnover between your 2 point guards is pretty good.
You also talked yesterday about needing to close out games, to get 7 straight from Epps there at the end, and then Tremont, of course, hits the 35-footer, just to get some plays there at the end and finish it out. How good was that to see?
That was good. We didn't do a good job attacking the middle of that zone. Epps is really good working the middle of that zone, so we just put him in there and said, get to the SEC, get the ball, make a play, and that's what he did. So he does a really good job maneuvering there in the middle of the zone. So he was good, and I should have taken him out when he got that 4th foul, but I was going to try to wait till the media and then just kind of offense, defense, sub him from there on out.
Yeah, Coach. First SEC home win tonight. Just talk about how that feels. Giving one
It's
back.
good. I mean, you just think about all the other ones you let slip away. I mean, if we'd have played with this edge, I don't even want to think about it. So it makes me sick. But I'm happy to win. Don't get me wrong. I'm thrilled to win.
How do you get your offense, I guess, to operate efficiently when Waters is not in the game? Because it seems it kind of stagnates when he's not.
Well, when Waters wasn't in the game tonight, I mean, it's only 4 minutes. Not like he's not in there a whole lot. But we try to play through Wop, try to throw the ball into Wop when he wasn't in there. And then even if we don't score, we just need really, really long possessions where we run a lot of clock.
How big was I think it was the first 8 possessions, not allowing them to score to kind of set the tone?
Yeah, I don't think it ever got below 7 once we got it up there. We called timeout when it got to 7 in the first half, and then thought it was important we go to halftime with a double-digit lead, which we did, obviously, and then I think we extended it by 1 by that first media timeout. It still wasn't very smooth. They just said we're just going to throw the ball off the backboard and go play volleyball, but we did extend it by 1. The starts to both halves were quite a bit better than they've been.
Can you recall the last time you were out rebounded by 20 and won a game going away with like you guys did?
No, not like that. It's very similar when we were at VCU and we played in the Sweet 16 the year we went to the Final Four. We played Florida State in the Sweet 16 in San Antonio, and they were just, I mean, it's the same thing. Like their 3-man was bigger than our center. And it was the exact same. I don't even know what the final number on the glass was. I think it was like 51-38. We got out rebounded. I mean, bad, but we created a ton of forced a ton of turnovers, created a lot of steals, and we kind of won this. No, but we won in overtime on a layup. I mean, it wasn't like we won going away. But if you're going to get blasted on the glass like that, you've got to compensate for it in other ways. And so, we were fortunate tonight.
How would you characterize Trey's influence on the game defensively? It seemed like Billy thought the turnovers were a big.
When he's engaged defensively and guarding the ball like that and working the ball up the court, he did a really good job on Wilson. And then, he's really good when he's able to guard somebody like we were at A&M today, where he can just kind of, we just basically make him a rover. It's kind of like a man zone what we do when we can play teams like this. And so he can just kind of roam around and get his hands on balls and try to steal balls and run through passing lanes. We give him a lot of freedom to maneuver around, and he was real active tonight, which helped.
Coach, did you see any difference in the team's attitude after that hard foul on Skylar Mays?
No, I mean, I thought our guys picked it up pretty good. I thought that was a turning point. I thought our guys picked it up. I thought our guys, wanted to fight for him, and I thought that was good to see our guys pick up a teammate like that. It's a good observation.
You guys had 40 in the paint tonight as opposed to 22 in College Station. Just what do you think enabled you to have
Well,
that?
we got a lot of them. It's not like we're feeding the post down there now. I mean, we got a lot of them just spacing the court a little bit better and driving it. We had a little bit better action with some of our cutters, and we're just trying to – we got to give we were able to compensate for what teams were doing on Tremont tonight. We were able to kind of reset it a little bit and compensate a little bit better. And so we got a few more answers now. If teams are going to continue to do what they've been doing, we got a better way of going about things.
Coach Will Wade got it going in the right direction overall.
3-4 in the league. They only won 2 games a year ago, and they've got some tough tests ahead. You see at Auburn this weekend, at Tennessee, and then they come back home against a team where they played I think their second best game overall when they went up to Fayetteville and beat Arkansas. But Bruce Pearl's got it going on. Rick Barnes has it going on at Tennessee. So 2 very big tests for Will Wade's club. But again, I still believe when you get a good game from Reith, and Waters doesn't look to become a high-volume scorer, I think that stat line, he's not going to get you 8 steals every night, but 15 points, 5 rebounds, 8-9 assists, that's certainly doable within his style of play in his game.
Well, we want to hear from some of the guys that had key games for LSU last night, kind of the nucleus, if you will. Tremont Waters, that guy's special. He's got a chance to really
he can handle
be good.
It, can he?
Aaron Epps and Duop Reith all had big nights last night, contributing on both ends of the floor, and that's always a key.
Yep.
So let's let you hear from some of the comments of the LSU players after Tuesday night's win against Texas A&M.
There we go.
For the 2 big guys, they came in averaging 45 points in the paint. They just had 8 in the first half. What worked well? And Tremont, you can answer too, because I know the guards were involved with that.
We just tried to make it tough for them. We just tried to crowd the lane in, tried to force them to make extra passes, basically.
Yeah, this is what Tremont, you just talked about the way you pass the ball tonight. You seem to just knew where everybody was at all times when you penetrate your passing game and trying to take over the game.
Practice out of last few days, we've been going over there, defensive scout on court, and I just pretty much knew that whenever I got into the paint, Epps was going to be in the corner, and Sky was going to be open, and Gerald was going to be open, so I was just pretty much attacking the paint and just making plays.
Yeah, guys, you guys got your first home SEC win tonight. Just kind of talk about how it was nice to give one back to the fans here after a couple of losses.
Yeah, definitely. It's just good to get us started and just get back to our fans because they've been loyal to us the whole season and they've been showing great support this season and we appreciate them.
Wow, how important was it for you to come out and have another big game in the post, being able to score? That hook seems to kind of be falling consistently now for you.
Just had to be aggressive. Just finish through contact and go straight up. Just be confident with the shot. And again, I like to thank my teammates, especially the point guard, for giving me the ball, and so him really.
Tremont, that shot with under 2 minutes to go. I mean, does your range just keep extending this season, or are you going to start from half court?
I work on my shot.
He works on it every day. Every day.
I work on my shot. It's just something that I have to work on kind of smaller. So.
Questions, raise your hand.
Trey, at one point, their point guard tried crossing you over and he ended up going the other way with a layup. I guess, what was your reaction to seeing that? Because you did a pretty good job blocking him down.
It was a great scout from my coaches. He said he was hurt, obviously. So they told me to just press up on him and just harass him, and then he tried to cross over. I just took him.
Other questions? Raise your hand.
After that Skylar Mays face, the crowd was fired up. Everybody was kind of upset, angry. Did the attitude of the team change at all after that?
A couple of the players, who had big games against A&M, but hey, that's over. Move forward to Auburn, move forward to Tennessee, back home against Arkansas.
You can enjoy it a little bit, but they'll study the film. and they'll go over it with a fine-tooth comb, and they'll show out the bad plays and learn to correct them. But look, they shot at 44% from the field, 44% from behind the arc. They were very accurate from the free throw line. The one thing that's changed for LSU basketball from the beginning of the season, it was a liability. Now it's a strength. They're playing defense. They get after it. They pressure the ball. They have a game plan. They understand who are factors for the opponent and who are non-factors, and they leave those non-factors and pack it in and shade toward those that are the more visible scorers, and it's worked. So they're listening to the game plan. It is a good game plan, and they're executing. So they've been in every game. Nobody's blowing them out in losses, and so they finally got a win at home. Now can they go on the road? And gosh, if they could split, pick your poison. Auburn, Tennessee, they could split.
Get one of them.
Get one of them. They're in good shape.
Yeah, that would be a good point.
Shape.
We'll take a break, come back. We're going to get a little gymnastics for you, and a little Darrell Williams at the Senior Bowl wants to be a starter in the NFL. So a little bit of gymnastics, a little more LSU football when we return after this pause on Tigers Roar. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, stay with us.
Hello. Hola. Ni hao.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. visit the website visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. We continue with Tigers Roar. Quite the night at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Dee Bro's birthday. Big meet against Alabama, the nationally ranked Tigers. Number 1, they beat number 4, and they ended up number 2. Right? That's a point thing. We talked about that last year.
Makes no sense.
But a record crowd. We got a graphic for you on that. 13,729. A school record sellout for the gymnastics meet against Alabama. Back on January 19th, last Friday night. So a tip of the hat to the fans, tip of the hat to Dee Bro and the program. I mean, Jordy, years ago, if anybody would have said, they're going to get almost 14,000 in there for a gymnastics meet, we'd all said, what?
But it's because of that. They have a 30-meet home winning streak. Dating back to 2014. They've won 30 straight in Pete's Palace. That's remarkable. Remarkable.
Dee Bro and a couple of the gymnasts had some comments that they wanted to make about this gymnastics team. Here's Coach Dee Bro.
Alumni? Is it the podium? Is it what's the?
Well, the Metroplex meet is a huge national meet, draws a lot of young athletes from all around the country, and Texas has a lot of great athletes, a lot of great coaches, and we do a lot of recruiting in Texas. And if you have the national championship or a conference championship, most teams have 1 or 2 Texas kids on them. So we really feel like we have to have a huge presence there. It's on a podium, which gives us the opportunity to compete in the same kind of venue, the same kind of apparatus that we will be in our postseason. And we have the opportunity to do it again in St. Louis in a few weeks. It's a great meet, great judges, 4 teams. UCLA will be there, Washington will be there, and North Carolina State teams that we don't narrow on our schedule. So it's just a great opportunity for us to see different teams and compete in a venue that eventually we go back to Fort Worth a couple of years for our national championship. So just we want to continue to have a big presence in Texas. It does. Of course, a conference meet. It's you always bring your excitement. But
Bring your excitement. 13-7-29. I asked her the other day, I said, do you remember what it was like when you walked out of that tunnel and you were like, how many people are going to be here? She said, yeah, we were hoping for 1,000. And then maybe 2,000. And now it's like, we're disappointed if it's not a sellout. Amazing.
Not many empty seats.
41 years there. 41.
Oh, that's remarkable. I was in high school when she started coaching at LSU.
She was 19 years old. She's been the only one they've had.
Okay, dumb question of the night. Was she a gymnast?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I should have known the answer to that, and that would make sense, but I thought I would throw it out there.
And
there was a time when the LSU baseball coach was the football equipment guy, so I just had to ask.
And it's Mary Lou Retton's 50th birthday today, and of course her daughter ruptured her Achilles.
She's injured.
Injured, has to sit out the season, but Dee said she's been terrific as a leader in helping the girls out. So they do a little bit of everything. They are masters at self-promotion.
When a program can surround itself with incredible people, be it Mary Lou Retton, be it Kevin Falk rolling back to LSU, or these other programs, Dale Brown shows up at practice for basketball. I mean, when you can put people who've been there, done that at the extremely high level, to me, that's got to mean something to these kids. I mean, I get it. There's guys playing basketball for LSU that when they signed with LSU, they might not have knew a lot about Dale Brown, might not have known about him at all. But if you come play for LSU, you quickly learn about it. But I just think anytime you can bring people back, whatever the sport, whatever the program, and Mary Lou Retton, the tie is that her daughter's there, but she's a
world-renowned.
Yeah, world-renowned gymnast. One of the most popular athletes in the world.
It's not LSU DBU. It's LSU Gym U.
That was flying around social media.
Gym U, baby.
Gym U. It ain't DBU. It's Gym U. Right now it is. All right.
Step up.
I heard Buddy signed you on the radio today. What's the last national champion at LSU? Buddy didn't know either.
Is it women's track?
Nope. Nope.
Baseball then?
Nope.
Not
See, we
gymnastics,
all
they've
do
never
it.
won.
Well, men's golf won a couple
Men's
years
golf,
ago. Chuck
there you go.
Winstead
That's
and
right.
the golf squad
That's right.
picked up a national title over Southern Cal of all
That's
people.
right.
So,
I remember that.
Anyway, no, so I mean, with all due respect to the golf team, LSU wants a national championship in baseball or football
they want them in
or
all, and
basketball
and they're
or
competing,
gymnastics.
and they should compete for all of them.
I did when I went to PMAC last night. I did, the stuff hanging on the rafters now, all the gymnastic stuff's up there. That used to not be there, and of course the retired numbers, a Sue Gunner thing. I mean, it was kind of cool to see all that. I'm the old school guy, so I took the time to look at them all. I actually looked at them when I was in the shoot around at lunchtime on Tuesday, but that was pretty cool.
I was fortunate enough to be a part of some of those teams where banners are held, banners are dropped.
And
so
your
it was good times.
signing class mate, Rudy Macklin's number hangs up there.
That's right. Thanks to me, all the missed shots I took.
32 rebounds, first game he ever played in college, and it happened to be against Tulane. Oh, well.
Oh, shucks.
We're going to take a break, come back, put a wrap on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook page Pelican Broadcasting, Twitter account at Pelican Sports. We'll come back with a wrap. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jordy Hultberg for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formula Fair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Final segment of Tigers Roar. I've heard a lot of people this week say there's only one more football game. There's only one more football game.
There's more than
Obviously,
that.
Super Bowl 52 on February 4th. 5:30 kickoff, by the way.
Senior Bowl.
But the Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
A lot
Sean
of people
Payton
don't
coaching.
want to count the Pro Bowl.
Drew Brees' kids are the ball boys.
7 New Orleans Saints. Larry Warford, you see old 67 there, was added. When the Phillies made the...
Let me see if I can get this
Philadelphia
right. Okay.
made the Super Bowl, they had one of their linemen was supposed to go. He can't go now.
So
Go ahead.
Warford 67, you got Michael Thomas 13, Alvin Kamara, you got Cam Jordan, Drew Brees, Marshawn Lattimore, and then Mark Ingram. How about that?
7 for 7. That's Mr. Holtberg for you. Pro Bowl in Orlando Sunday if you care. Saints coaching staff will be there. So
They're split because all the scouts are at the Senior Bowl and the Saints coaches are there. They can only hope and pray that they can, if they could strike gold twice, back-to-back years like they did with that draft.
If they can do half as good
oh my gosh.
in this next draft.
That'd be awesome.
Drew Brees says they've built a good foundation for the future, and you got to believe that. I use this analogy all the time. You got to feel better about the Saints this January than you did last January.
March 12th is the day to look out. That's they got to sign Drew Brees before March the 12th. For a lot of reasons, monetarily wise, for the Saints, it would benefit them, dead money and all that kind of stuff. Mickey Loomis says, we want Drew. Drew says, I want to be there as long as they'll have me.
I think he'll be with the Saints.
I do too.
Okay, if I had to bet a Diet Coke on it.
2-year deal? 2-year deal.
Maybe an option for the third year.
Maybe an option. 2-year deal guaranteed.
I don't think Drew Brees will wear another uniform next year.
No.
You never say never, but I think he'll still wear the black and gold.
What do you think Saints fans would do if that happened? What do you think they would do?
It wouldn't be good.
It would not be pretty.
It would not be pretty at all. There'd be a parade, but not a fun parade.
Yeah. Hey, about the Philadelphia Eagle fan who was running down the street and turned his head the wrong way. When he looked up, went right into a light pole. Boom.
Oh.
Knocked him out. Another Philly fan punched a horse. They kind of. Oh, what about Lane Johnson, who said if we get in fall practice, he said if the Eagles get to the Super Bowl, I'm buying beer for everybody. And Bud Light stepped up and said, if you win the Super Bowl, beer's on us. It's about 500,000 beers.
What about was that a Philadelphia Eagle fan that was at the bank ATM, thought he was at Taco Bell?
Oh, my God.
Huh?
He was trying to place an order?
to get his order in at the bank ATM.
I think he was overserved.
I know he got a DWI. That's a little bit of a rough evening, huh? You're at the bank ATM trying to order.
On that note, I'll say goodnight.
A box of
I'll
tacos
say goodnight, everybody.
with hot sauce. I mean,
Wow.
gee. Hey, backing it up a little bit, we want to thank Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, and of course
Kevin Falk.
Kevin Falk jumping in case you missed it. Officially a member of the support staff, Director of Player Development for LSU football, one of its all-time greats coming back to the program. Most importantly, we want to thank you for spreading the roar and tuning in on Pelican Sports TV, eTel Cable, or YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. On behalf of everybody at Pelican, Jordy Helper, Tommy Chrysan, we'll talk to you again soon. Spread the roar.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy, and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.